So yeah, a lot of like really random funny stuff has gone viral. Billie Jean has been my most viral, throwing food, cheese on the floor for her and
And then
her
running.
eating it.
So funny.
Like, what? And that too, like that was something that I was literally like running out the door and I like was throwing food on or cheese on the floor for her, and I was like, that would be a funny TikTok. I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And so I like quickly did it and I ran out the door, put my phone in my pocket, and actually after a couple minutes, I was like, oh, I should probably take that down. I was like, that was kind of stupid. And then I was like, whatever, who cares? I'll leave it on there. Because I just kind of figured that I'd get people, which I did, which I don't really care. I think it's funny when people like say mean, rude stuff on there. I actually find it quite hilarious. That never bothers me. But when they're like talking about how it's bad for your dog, like I was just like, oh, I'll probably get that and stuff. I was like, oh, whatever, I don't even care. And so I left it up, and then I looked like an hour later and it had over 100,000, and then it just kind of kept rising. I was like, whoa, Billie Jean, you're famous. I was like, I'm clout chasing you to the end, baby girl.
Hey, this is Logan.
And Jenna.
And we're here on the porch today with an episode of our podcast where we tried some disgusting food combinations with country artist Teigen Gayse.
One of them turned out to be okay.
Yeah, it was actually kind of surprising.
And one of them did not.
Also surprising. The one that I thought was going to be gross was delicious.
She liked it either. She liked it.
Yeah. And the one that I thought was going to be good
Was gross. Teigen's new single, If You Show Me Yours, is out now. She's also participating in SiriusXM's Top of the Country this year.
So here's a conversation with Teigen.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Well, good morning, Teigen. It's really early where you're coming to us from, which I didn't think about until like 10 minutes before. For us.
Well, it's you guys are worth waking up for. So, you know.
And you put so much effort in. Like, you look beautiful, and it's
Thank you.
It's like almost noon for us, and we look like trash.
Yes.
You guys look hot. Don't worry.
Literally, I'm dying of heat.
No, you guys look good. But thanks. I'm glad you noticed. I like got halfway through, and then I was like, I'm putting it up in a clip. I'm putting it up.
I respect that. I used to do that all the time in school. When I was in university, I'd be getting ready and I'd just be like, it's taking too long, and the rest of it would just be like right here and like try to make do.
Yeah,
I'm bald. I do not relate. Takes me no time to do my hair.
Yeah, well, it's a blessing because it does tack on some time to your day. So
no kidding. I don't even have to look in a mirror in the morning. I mean, I do.
I just wake up naturally beautiful. You're lucky. Guys are lucky. They just wake up and they don't have to do anything. They just look.
Well,
good.
Some guys should do some things, but you know.
True.
Wake up, savage.
Yeah, I'm here to be mean today.
You love that.
Well, Teigen, we've had the pleasure of getting to know you a bit over the last little bit, and it's been wonderful getting to know you. But why don't you tell all of our listeners who's listening a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from, how you got started?
Yeah. So I grew up in a small town called Chetwynd. It's up north. And growing up, I was a competitive figure skater. So I was very driven, had a very young age. It was my whole life, from morning skate to noon skate to after skate to off ice to summer school. It was very excessive. And I did that up until I was 14. And I sang a little bit like throughout like when I was in figure skating, but just for fun. Like I would do talent shows. I would I was in a little folk band at one point, and so I was kind of in and out with music, but I never really took it like seriously. But I enjoyed it and I liked it. I knew I could sing and stuff. But it wasn't until I quit figure skating, and when I quit, I was like, I quit cold turkey. I was like, when I was done, I was done.
How old did you?
But of course,
how old would you?
14. I think I was 14. It was grade 10. I quit. Like I kind of did it a little bit that year, and then I was like, I'm done. And I hung up my skates for good. And like looking back, there's been times where I'm like, I'm really sad that I did it that way, that I just kind of like, I quit, and I, just really quit. But I turned to music after that. So after I hung up my skates, I was like, what do I do? Like I had this passion, and I did it like 24/7. And then I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. I was like, so I turned to music. And so it went, looking back, like it worked out for the best, because I ended up, putting everything into music. So I got my first guitar. My uncle was very passionate about guitars, and he would fix up broken guitars and he would give them to me. So he was always like letting me test out his guitars,
Aw.
and he taught, I know, it's so special. So like my baby that I have now is he gave it to me, and it's just the most beautiful guitar. Her name is Donna. I named her this
Oh,
summer, like Donna off of Suits. Yeah, I was just like, she's a Donna. And but yeah, I started writing music. I learned my first three chords, and the rest was history. And from there, I went to audio school. When I graduated high school, I took a year off. I worked, and then I went to Cologne. I took audio. Why I took audio, I have no idea, because I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. Like my mom came, she's like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "Well, something musical." And when we were searching around, I wanted to be close-ish to home, and I wanted to have like the small town vibe, because that's what I was kind of used to. I wasn't quite ready for like the big city. And Kelowna, they had the audio program, and talking about how you can, record your own music and create your own music. I was like, what, that sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Mm.
I'm gonna see how I like it. And I was the only girl in my program. 18 months, it was just me and a bunch of dudes, which was awesome. They were so fun and they were so cool. And it was a great experience, and I loved it. I'm so glad I took the program. Uh, I did realize that I like being on the other side of the board. Like I love entertaining. It's my favorite thing. And so very cool, like loved it. But and I feel like I have, somewhat of knowledge when I'm in the studio and I'm working with the producer. So it all worked out
Mm.
for, God works in mysterious ways, why I do the things that I do. But it was really cool. And then started releasing music. Didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really have like anyone to follow or like anything. I didn't even go to my first CCMAs up until like 2 years ago. So I just kind of like started releasing music, but what was kind of dabbling. I wasn't really sure what was going on. And
Mm.
then in 2020, I released an album that I recorded in Texas. And from there, I was like, I'm just gonna put everything into this. I'm not getting any younger, so I'm just gonna give it my all, treat this like a job, and like, like it's my own company and everything. And once I started doing that, I started, getting some success, and I just got obsessed with it. And then I went to my first CCMAs, and I just met everybody, and now I'm just like and I'm in deep, and I love it, and I am just so grateful and happy, and I've surrounded myself with so many wonderful people, and that's my life in a nutshell.
A lot that you went through there, and it's like it all kind of seems to like lead in, like one thing led into the next, which led into the next, like because like figure skating is still pretty creative and pretty, I mean, it's very physical but also like creative, and then that kind of led into the music side of things, which, and then into the audio side, which when you say you took an audio program, is that like audio
Yeah.
engineering, like to like sit behind a board and do the thing, or like I don't know what else it would be, so I don't know why I
Yeah,
asked
yeah,
that, but
producing, like, and actually, funny enough, my favorite thing with the whole program was like sound effects for movies. That to me, I was like, I could totally do this as a job. I thought it was so much fun.
I love like I love those store like things on TikTok or whatever of like watching people do the sound effects, like I think it's called
Yeah,
Foley or
Foley or
whatever,
something.
like
Yeah, yeah.
Foley, yeah, whatever. You're like making things sound like different things. It's so
It was
cool.
so cool. Like I remember our first one of our first projects. We had to redo the audio for Zombieland. And so it
Cool.
was just so much fun. I was like, to think that this could be like that this is someone's job, that they're just in a
Isn't that
studio breaking shit and making weird like sounds, because we were smashing watermelons, we were smashing glass, we were doing funny voices. I was it was the best time. And I was just like,
that sounds like a
it
lot of
was
fun.
time. It was so much fun. So I was like, that was something that I was like, if I did take anything from this, because I do love being on, like I said, like I like being the singer, the musician. I like being on that side of the board when it comes to music. But I'm like, for movies, I love movies. I'm very passionate about the movies as well. And I'm like, I would love to do that. So who knows, maybe in the future, down the road, yeah, you never know. Maybe I'll just see what that's like. I don't know.
So you kind of like mentioned it, but having that knowledge of audio production must be super helpful when you're in a studio with someone, because I feel like with a lot of artists, they don't know very much about it, and it's hard to articulate what they want or what they want things to sound like,
Mhm.
or like has that really understanding really helped you kind of solidify your sound and like what the studio experience is?
Absolutely. I actually have a funny story. When I was in Texas, I was in the studio, and I we were doing like vocals, and I felt like my lows were like, I felt like my lows were cut, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. And I was talking to the guys. I was like, "You guys," I was like, "I think that there's a gate on my track." I was like, "Can you check to see if there's a gate on my track?" And they're like, there's no gate. They're like, it's like, and they were just kind of like brushing me off a little bit, and they're trying to figure out what it was. Like they had ended up having to like call the guy who owned the studio to come in. And I was like, you guys, I was like, I think it's a gate. I just feel like my lows are cut. I was like, go check, just go check. And by the time the guy who owned the studio had to come in from, he was doing some family thing, like he was busy. He came in. Sure enough, there was a gate on my track, and I was like, yes, I'm the smartest person alive. I was just like, I still like will message them like once in a while, and I'll just like literally just be like gate, just to like.
That's
So
funny.
like moments like that are
You should have
cool.
listened to
Where I'm like, hee
no doubt.
yeah.
Does it also help you when you are like getting introduced to a new producer? Because you get used to somebody and you know each other and it's easy, but knowing you have that background, is it helpful when you're meeting somebody new that you're just starting to work with? Because you can articulate exactly what you want and how like you can show like, hey, I know what you're doing
Hmm.
too.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely helped me. I I don't know, it's hard to explain, because the reason I didn't really like want to be a producer like after school, where I still wanted to be an artist, is because I felt like I still, like I wasn't the best at it. I was like, if I'm gonna do something and I'm gonna do it right, like I want the best, and I'm not that. And I'm like, I'm way better on the other side. But yeah, like it's just it's still easy for me to ish, anyways, easy-ish, more easy, just because I guess I kind of get like the lingo, or I know how to explain things, or I
Mm.
do understand it. It's just to apply it as a whole nother story. But to be able to talk with somebody about it is easy, or for me.
Well, it's probably harder for them to bullshit you
Yeah.
too.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So we've talked about this a little bit, but you have a pretty big family.
Mhm.
Not everybody's in music. What would you like? Which sibling of yours do you think would probably like? Would you do it if you had to duet with one of your siblings? Who would you trust to do it?
Duet with one of my siblings. Oh my gosh, probably my older brother Cody. And if I did duet with him, we would probably do like an EDM song, because he's a DJ.
Cool.
I know he's a DJ, and when I was in college, I actually like, because no one in college, I came into college wanting to be a country singer. No one liked country music. So for 18 months, I was in a group of guys that liked, heavy rock, like Metallica. They liked, what else did they like? EDM music. And so like I ended up starting to like Cruella was like a big influence, and Lights, and all those artists, that I was like, okay, I was like, maybe I'll just, not do country and give this a shot. And as soon as I quit school, I was like, okay, I'm back to country. But my brother, he is a DJ, and he likes to kind of make beats and stuff. So I would probably do something with him. And it's still actually, I do want to, that is like a goal of mine, and something that I want to do is I would like to do a song like that. I've always have wanted to do, like an EDM song with somebody. So like,
That would be really
yeah,
cool. Or like a remix of one of your songs or something.
yeah, definitely.
That'd be really cool. There's like a few artists who I've talked to recently that have said like their producers also, like country artists, that their producers also produce EDM. Is there like, do you know of any crossover of like things that sounds that would, why that would be? Because I find that very
It
random.
is random, but like so many people, like Maren Morris is doing it. She's done it, like Kelsey Ballerini, and every time they do it, it's so sick. Like there's so many artists that are doing it, and I'm like, man, I was like, I want to do that. As for like producers that I know of, I personally don't know any. I don't think, yeah, I don't know. I do know a lot of producers that are strictly EDM that I would probably just go to, in Kelowna. But as for like the country music scene, I don't really know of anybody that does that, but who knows? I've never asked either.
Yeah, it's a random
Yeah.
question.
What is the makeup of music that you grew up on?
I feel like our household was a little bit of everything. My sister really loved country music. My sister is like an actual cowgirl. Um, but we listen to everything, I'd say. Like my mom kind of likes to listen to everything. My dad likes classic rock, so we listen to a lot of classic rock. You know, my mom loves pop, but my sister's country. So I feel like I was listening to a little bit of everything, but mostly country.
That does
Yeah,
make sense. Because grew up in BC,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Northern BC, way up there, like by the North Pole.
North Pole.
That's funny. Santa's playing.
Yeah, I know him personally.
Is your dad Santa?
Yeah, actually, don't tell anybody though. You have to edit this out.
Oh, okay. We don't want to ruin the magic.
No, you don't.
So, in the last couple of years, you've really started to enter people's radars across the country, not just in BC. What has that experience been like in the last couple of years?
Oh my gosh, surreal. Um, uh, I still can't even believe it sometimes. Like I get so excited, even just like the people that have come in my path that are just wonderful people. Like I just feel like everyone that has come in my path in the last, 2 years have just all been like such good people. And I've always wanted to, like my dream from the get-go when I started this was like I just want to attract good people into my life, people that actually care about me, people that genuinely want to see me succeed and care about me. And I wanted to build a team of that. That's what I wanted. And I feel like I've done that in this past year, which has been the most exciting for me. Um, but it's honestly just great to get to know everybody in this industry because I do feel like I came in a little bit later, even though I was releasing music. I didn't really know what to do or what I was doing. To be honest, I thought in order to go to the CCMAs or to go to those events that I needed to be nominated or something. Like I remember telling my parents one year, like, oh, like I really want to go to the CCMAs. And they're like, why? Like, are you nominated? And I'm like, no, should I not go? Like just things like that where you don't like they didn't know, I didn't know, I didn't have anyone to look up to or follow or anything. There was no one really here. So it wasn't until I kind of, started to meet people in the industry by going to these events. That's why they're so important, like networking and connections and all that stuff. It wasn't until then that like things really started to like happen. So, yeah, for anyone out there who is listening to this, like those events are so important for connecting and networking. So go, go, go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like for people listening, like even for not just the musician side of things, but like any part of the industry, if you want to be part of it, those are like the events that you have to go to. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of like you don't have to go obviously, but there's so many events and so many, even just like walking around down the street, you'll run into people who are, you know, trying to do or doing what you're trying to do. So just go make connections
Mm-hmm.
and just be there.
Well, and you meet like it's like now I feel like like my friends in the music industry, like we're one big family, and it's exciting, and you like work at it together, and it's like it's fun. It makes it more fun. Before I just like when I didn't know anybody or I didn't know anything, it just like I didn't even know what I was doing, or I didn't have any support, or I just it was just like, oh my God, I'm so grateful now that where I'm at now, because you get more obsessed with it too. You just love it so much more when you have like a great camaraderie within your industry. So, oh my
And you
God, that
meet
was
other
such a
people.
big word. I'm so proud of myself. Sorry.
One moment.
You didn't even trip up on it either. You're like,
I know. It's like, whoa, who is she?
Dictionary out.
you've been cracking open books?
Oh my God, I did buy a book yesterday.
Okay, what'd you buy?
The
I
dictionary.
forget what it's called already, but it's a book. Hoover. Have you heard? Is the last name Hoover?
Colleen Hoover, yeah.
I went in there and I said I want something with. I said murder and sex. That's what they gave me. There's a book that I read a couple years ago, and it was called Whispers by Lisa Jackson. And it was this crazy murder mystery, but within it there was like this crazy like love triangle, and it was just so steamy, and so it was just this crazy book, and nothing has been able to live up to it. And people always like tell me oh, you should read this book, and I'll read the back, and it has nothing to do with and no murders or any love triangle, and I'm like, nope. So like I went in there and I just asked them, I was like, I want this, and this is what they recommended, so I'm super excited. And the back looks good. There's definitely some love triangle, and there's definitely some
Yes.
murder
Someone's
mystery,
dying.
someone dying. I'm not a psycho, everyone out there. I just
I don't know.
Well,
What do we know about you, sis?
I promise I'm very normal.
That's funny.
I have a reading challenge for the year. I have 20 books I'm going to read this year.
Oh, 20.
I'm already at 4. Already at 4.
I don't think I've read 20 books in my life.
Ever.
I told you. Remember, I was telling you like Meg was actually the one being like she reads a lot.
Yeah, she knows all the words because she reads.
We were talking about this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, remember we were doing the big words list, and I pulled out my big words list from like 5 years ago, and they weren't even big words. They were like normal words in the normal vocabulary that you should be using. And I was like, this is embarrassing. I just put this away.
You're like saying these words, and like Jenna's like, oh yeah, I know that. I know that. And then like me and Meg and you were like, I don't know.
Table. No.
Never heard of it before. What's that?
That's funny.
Oh my God.
She's
That's
reading
funny.
a book. How did we get off track? What did you say? Camaraderie.
A big word.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just thought of was your first CCMAs in 2021?
Yeah, it was when I remember seeing you guys in Media Row. I showed up there so uncomfortable and so awkward, and I didn't know anybody, and I was like, hey, Teigen, I had to work myself up because I went to the CCMAs alone. Didn't have a team, didn't have anybody, I didn't know anybody, nobody. So when I showed up there and I felt like I was like going to high school for the first time in a new town, and I was just like it was so scary. But you know what? I met people, so.
I remember you emailing me asking for my phone number because you were going to come to Media Row super late, but you hoped we would stay anyways. And I just remember it was so cute.
I can only imagine. I just remember walking up and just everyone had things to do there. Everyone was there actually for a reason. And I'm like so embarrassing. But you know what? You got to put yourself, I told myself, you got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations because you're not going to grow. You're not going to do anything if you just don't go. So as hard as it was, I went, and I'm so grateful that I did. So,
Well, good for you. Look at you now.
I know.
Seriously.
Now you guys are my besties.
Now you walk into Media Row like, yo.
I didn't go last year, but this year I'm going to make sure that I am freaking there and I have purpose, and it's going to be good.
I love that. Is that how you met your manager as well through the CCMAs, or had you met your manager through other connections?
Other connections. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you have like been working on your team and building your team, and so how did you decide like it's time to get a manager? I trust this person. This is who I want to work with.
Okay, so this is a cool story actually because I manifested my manager into my life. So I wanted a manager, asking Jim Cressman. I was like, how do I get a manager? Like, what's the first step? Like, and he was like, you know what? When there's a time that when you're ready, managers will come to you. And I was like, okay, that sucks, but okay, so I have to wait. So I'm like, that sucks. So I just kind of was like, okay, I guess I'll wait for that time. I'm sure it'll come. And I was very patient. And I knew of Tracy because Chris works with Tracy, Chris Buck. And I was hanging out with Chris a lot. And I just like would kind of see how he was with her and how she was with him. And I just thought like she was she was so kind and so sweet and so hardworking. And I was like, man, I want somebody like that. And so I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. And like when the time came, she ended up, something, however it happened, someone told her about me, and she kind of knew about me from Chris, and we just kind of chatted for a while and got to know each other, and we just clicked. And like I knew, like I seriously manifested her. I wanted her so bad, but I didn't message her. I didn't say anything to her. I didn't do anything. I just kind of like waited, and then she ended up calling me, and I was like, it was really cool how it happened, and it's been so wonderful so far. She's works her ass off for me, and she is just a nice, kind person, and I love her. And as you know, I'm working with Ron's team at Steer, and them too. Like I feel like I've manifested so many wonderful people in my life, and I'm just so grateful. Their team is awesome. I just feel like we're one big happy family, and I truly do feel like they believe in me and they want the best for me. And we work together in such like close quarters, I guess. Like I feel like it comes from the heart always, and it's what I've always wanted. So it makes me really happy.
Okay, let's have a little like lesson with Teigs then on like what's your advice to other artists other than that great advice from Jim Cressman, because I've heard that 1,000 times too, is like when it's time, managers will actually find you. But what's your advice for like, let's call it sussing out your manager? Like
I was going to ask the same
five
question.
people could come to you at once and you're like, oh shit, like who are these people? So what's your advice for like, what do you prioritize? What should others be looking for?
Like that's a hard one, because like when I kind of wanted somebody that like worked around the clock, you know what I mean? Like I just kind of saw like because like my brain is moving like 24/7, and I feel like I never stop. And I wanted somebody like that, and I kind of saw that with her. And she just was such a go-getter. Like you can just tell. It's hard to explain, because it's not like I had a bunch of managers running to me at like once, but like I think what you want and what I was looking for is somebody that truly believes in you, and they don't see you as just a paycheck. They actually care about you, and they actually love you, and they believe in you. It's like selling. Like you can't sell something you don't believe in. You can't sell something you don't love. And it's got to be the same thing. And it's got to be somebody like, you're going to be married to this person. So can you get along with this person? Can you tell this person everything? And I'd say those are like my, a few things that you want to look for in a manager. Do they believe in you? Do they actually like care about you? Do they love you? You're going to be married to this person. So can you work with this person around the clock 24/7? Yeah, because it is like a marriage. I talk to my manager a million times a day, and so it's got to be someone that you can actually, stand to be around. So those are my, I guess, advice for a manager. Yeah.
Love it.
Fair. Stop playing footsies with me.
Sorry, I just.
That's you're cold.
Well, mine aren't. Get out of here.
Poor Jenna. I'll warm up your feet, honey. If I was there, I would.
It's actually so warm in here.
Yeah, it is.
I live on the 6th floor, but it's either like hot or cold because we have a whole wall of windows. So like there's no temperature regulation.
Would you rather
ever.
be
It's
hot
just
or
you're either
cold?
hot or cold, and that's it.
Same.
Cold.
Hot. I'd actually rather be warm because I can regulate my
What?
temperature
Nope.
so much better in the heat.
No, when
Same.
I'm hot, I'm cranky, I'm sweaty. I just want
Same.
to.
I
I'm
At
angry
least
when
if
I'm hot.
you're
I was
at
You can
least
always
if you're
put
cold, you
layers
can warm
on.
yourself up.
And if you're
Yeah, it
hot, even if
sucks.
you're naked, you're still
There's
hot,
not much you can do.
and you can't walk outside.
Well, you can, but
Are you good?
Well, then, yeah.
I was born on the hottest day in the summer. So like my mom always tells me, she's like, you always wanted the heat. When it's like dreadfully hot out, I can like I can get by with not like sweating on my, like, you know how it's like 40 degrees and it's just like so stale. I can like feel a breeze and I can just like
wow. Yeah,
not be
same.
hot.
I'm like,
I
get
want
me
to
out of
die.
here. I hate it.
Yeah, take me
Yeah,
take me
we'll
take
go
me to
up
the North
north.
Pole.
We'll go to
Take me to
Chetwynd.
family. Yeah.
Like, okay, we haven't even talked about your music at all yet.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I was gonna say, like, so the first real song where you at least entered our radar, and you know the one that kind of got you some more national attention was "Blame the Wine." It hit the charts. Was that kind of just like a? I mean, obviously there was a lot of work behind the scenes to like getting to that point, but when you finally hit that point into the charts, what was that
Um,
like?
cool, crazy. I didn't even know. Like, I literally had no idea. I remember being on the phone with my producer at the time, and he's like, "This is huge." And because I was so like, I didn't know. I was like, "Really?" Like, I was just like, I had no idea. Like, so green. And I mean, after that, you just kind of like, I don't even know, sit like, kind of think like, wow, like, I made it, mom. Like I'm there. Like, it was really cool and obviously emotional just to think that, people are supporting you. Like, I, radio changed my life. And it started with winning trending track with Stingray. And that's what got me charted the first time with I Don't Want to Fall in Love Anymore. And I just like can't get over to think like if that never did happen and I never did get on the radar, like where I would be. And I'm like, radio is what changed my life and my career for me. And I'm so grateful. And yeah, I love everyone at radio too. They're such fun people. And yeah, it was just a very surreal, cool experience. And it was like the first recognition I kind of got, like that first thing that kind of made me think like, okay, like maybe I can do this. Maybe I do have a shot. Because before I was just kind of like, like not sure. And then when that happened, I was like, oh my God, I was like, okay, I can do this. And so like I'm so grateful that they believed in me. And I'll never forget like sending Shy. I was watching again the Jim Crespin podcast. Learned so much from that friggin' guy. I was watching his podcast and Shia LaBellis was on it, and I didn't really know who Shiloh was at the time. I didn't really know anything. Again, like I was so green and just didn't know anything. And he was talking about how he wished artists would send him their songs more often. And I was like, huh, interesting. So I looked him up and I sent him my song at the time before it was out. I Don't Want to Fall in Love Anymore. And I was expecting like harsh criticism. Like I love a good harsh criticism. Like I can take it. Like tell me what I need to be better at. Tell me what I could do better. So I was expecting that. And he sent me the most loveliest email about how the song like stopped him in his tracks. And I was just like, I was happy dancing around my house. I was like, oh my God. I was like, that just meant so much to me. And I couldn't believe it. And Shiloh is with Stingray, trending track. And so that song ended up winning trending track that year. And that kind of honestly was like the starting. I felt like that was like, that's where it started for me. That's where I was like, oh my God, like that hope, that little glimpse of hope that he gave me. Um, just it started something like a fire within me that was like, okay, I actually can do this and I'm gonna do this. And the rest is kind of like history. And then radio has just been so kind to me and throughout like the last few years, and I'm just really grateful.
I love that. I didn't realize that I Don't Want to Fall in Love Anymore
Yeah.
was a trending
Yeah,
track
back in
either.
2021, I think I
Cool.
released it. Yeah. So
Mhm. Oh, okay. So then you have trending track, you hit the
top
top
it was top
40 or
50.
top
I think
30?
it
Top
peaked
40?
at 43.
Top
Yeah.
50?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And then
Yeah.
it's like on to the next song, right? So like what were you're like, I want to
Yeah.
enjoy this, but I gotta move on to the next song. So how do you're like, man, I don't want to. I want to
It's
stay here and I
hard
want to be
because
excited
you
about
like
this, but
I
I
would
gotta
like
do
to
it.
like, like drag it out a little bit more. But I guess you kind of just got to keep putting out music for people. Um, so I try and release a song at least every like 5 months just to give someone something new and on to the next. I feel like I have so many amazing songs that I want to show people that I get excited and I'm happy to like move on to the next. But it was hard at first thinking like, how do I leave this baby behind? Because like once you leave it, you're on to the next and you're all you can think about is that next
Hmm.
song. So I guess you just kind of do it. But it was kind of like weird and hard at first, but now I feel like I'm kind of used to it. Like, okay, on to the next. Gotta show people what else I got in my back pocket.
Should we talk about the current then?
We should.
Okay, so you co-wrote a track with Simon Clow, aka Kidoo, and Todd
Yeah,
Kroger. So
yeah.
how did you get connected with them? Is it the BC community kind of thing that how you got connected?
Well, how that happened was I'm actually doing a song with Kudu.
Mm-hmm.
I am we have a duet together. So I was in the studio at Chad's place recording vocals for Kudu's song, and then Chad was there and we just ended up writing a song.
Cool.
And I kind of knew it was a possibility before I went there. Kudu was like, "Ah, Chad's gonna be there. Like maybe we could write a song." And it was funny because we were supposed to be like doing like Kadu's song, and we ended up just like not really doing Kadu's song. Like we did like a little bit of it, and every time we start writing the song, and like every like I swear every 20 minutes, Simon's like, "So are we gonna like go back to my song or like you know what I mean?" It's
Poor
like
Kadu.
it was so funny, and Chad would just like ignore him. He's just like, "Okay," and we just keep going. So it was so funny. Kadu's just like pouting in the corner.
That's funny.
It was funny. It was awesome, but
So
it was a
the
great
song that
day.
we're talking about for everyone listening is "If You Show Me Yours."
Oh yeah, I didn't really say that.
Let's
Yeah.
get that out there. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a really great song. So like you obviously wrote that with some pretty heavy hitters, and then did you also? This feels like a wild question. Did you also record it? Like when did you end up recording that?
So we recorded most of the vocals that day that I was
Oh,
there.
not a one.
I know, which was I know, and so Chris Baseford was there. He was the one running the board and everything, and his like whatever he did to my voice, like I don't know if it was just magic in the air that day, but like it was we just ended up using the vocals from that day because they were just so solid
Hmm.
when we wrote it. Yeah, it was crazy. Like I had to come back in and like, redo a couple things but like we ended up using the vocals from that day. And I think I came back because we wrote part of it and then I had to come back and I had to come back later and do the bridge. So like I was in there I think like 3 or 4 times, but yeah, we kind of there never was just like a demo take and then an actual like real like take. So that's kind of interesting and cool because usually it's you do the demo and then you go back in and you do the vocals again. So it's kind of cool.
How'd you come onto the story with this song? Because it's like a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for?
Dirty sounding.
It's a little bit like I don't know. There's a better way to put that.
I know there is. I wish I knew. You would know because you read more.
Like I'm sitting here like, what's the word? Whatever.
Jenna, the reader.
Yeah, where it's like I do know what you mean.
But
And yeah,
dancing around it a little bit, and like, where
yeah.
did all this come from?
So I don't know where I was, but we knew we were gonna write, and we were kind of thinking of ideas, and I would probably went to the washroom or I went somewhere, and I came back in the room, and Chad was like, "What do you think about if you show me yours, I'll show you mine?" And I was like, "Huh." I was like, "What do you mean?" And I just started laughing. I was like, "I don't even like." Okay, I was he's like your heart, Teigen, your heart. Come on. I was like, "Oh." how it started, and I was like, that's actually really clever and really cool. And we obviously we laughed about it because like Simon and Chad, they're like two big kids. Like they are so funny and they just play off of each other. Half of the time, I don't even know what they're talking about. I finally told Simon that like the other day when we were talking, I was like, sometimes I literally just laugh at you guys and pretend like I know what you're talking about, and really I have no idea. Because they just have like their own little thing. But so I'm not sure exactly how they got onto that title before I came into the room, but that's like when I came into the room, that's kind of what happened. And from there, we started writing. Like at the beginning of the song, we kind of just started talking about all the places that that are hard to find love, and that's how that kind of started. And then I mean the best like lyric for me, and Chad came up with this one. I don't want to live in an emotional prison where
Nice.
hope is a capital crime. I'm like, and I just remember there's Chris up at the board, Kadu right beside me, and Chad's over there just like kind of stewing ideas. And we all, as soon as he said that, we all just looked at each other and we're like, money. Like it was really cool. And like it was hard, obviously, to write that day with him because it was like my first time meeting him and trying not to like be weird or be like a fangirl and just like sit there and be like, I'm not sitting with this person that's in Nickelback. This is just a human. Like I had to try and set it aside. It was hard to even try and write and like say ideas because I'm like, I don't want him to think I'm stupid. And I'm like,
That would
so
be
like
really hard.
it was, but he's so comfortable and he's so kind and he's so easy to be around. Like after the first little bit, you just kind of like he really is just a real person, I guess.
Celebrities, they're just like us.
Yeah. So it was just an incredible experience, and working like because Chris and Chad also produced the song as well, and working with them was a dream. So easy. They're just so freaking nice
Mm.
and so talented. It's just it's a whole nother thing to work with like nice, talented people that just are so kind-hearted and easy to work with. It was awesome.
Does this feel like maybe this is how it's meant to be, though? It's meant to be something that comes easy and everybody, like, it just feels like a good, like, the people in the room are, like, meant to write something good and it all comes together so
Yeah.
well. Like, you sang a vocal and that ended up being what you put on the song. Like, that's not, like, that's not normal, right?
I know.
So, like, I feel like this is all just, like, this really cool experience for you of being like, this is what it's supposed to feel like, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And like I really do believe in like God works in mysterious ways, and even when something good doesn't happen, like something crappy happens, I'm like, there's a reason for this. Like I don't know what you're doing up there, but I know that there's a reason for why this is happening. And yeah, that's just something I like to take into consideration too in this industry. If things don't go my way or things don't happen and I'm really sad or like something, because it is a very like emotional roller coaster in this industry. Like I could be so happy 1 minute and then the next I could be crying, and it's just like you just never know what you're gonna get. But I truly believe that there's always a reason, there's something better is going to come along, or like, God is always like on my side, I feel. And that's what I just tell myself when things like that happen. And for everyone out there listening too, try and enjoy every little success that you have, because they are so important. Doesn't matter how big or how small, because it is a roller coaster. And that's something that I've like, tried to do. It doesn't matter how big it is, just like, celebrate everything you possibly can. And when you're having a down day and something doesn't go your way, just like recognize that, be sad for a minute, and like, move on, because it happens a lot. And again, like your time and something better will come, something will happen. It always does, if you just, work hard and believe in yourself and be a good person. So, yeah, if you're thinking about getting into it, just, it's a roller coaster, but, it's awesome. I love roller coasters.
Especially emotional ones.
Yeah. The best.
So speaking of celebrating successes, social media for you has been popped off quite a bit in the last year or two. What's your relationship like with social media?
It's a very love-hate relationship. I I do love like I like lo I just love talking to people and I like engaging with people and I like making people laugh. And so for that reason, like I love social media. It can, sometimes be hard, like mental health wise. Like say, like for instance, for TikTok, TikTok has a mind of its own, and I'm not really quite like this anymore because I've learned to like manage it and just learn to kind of take it down. But it can be really discouraging on TikTok, or when you post something and you think like you put so much time into it and so much effort, and it's like a singing video and you post it and you get like 200 views. Like it can be like, it can be hard and you don't really understand that like that's just how the app is. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're not good. It doesn't mean that you don't have it. So anyone out there who is like on the TikTok train and they're just getting discouraged, like my biggest advice is to just not care. Literally don't care. Put it out there, because every video for me that has done well, I've literally posted and I did not give a, can you say shit on here?
You can say whatever you
Anyways,
want.
perfect.
We
I
actually
didn't
have
give
a
a shit.
swear jar that every time someone swears, we're putting money into, and then at the end of the season, we're going to donate it.
I love it. Okay, perfect. So swear as much as I want. Got it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I yeah, I just didn't care, and I kind of put it out there for fun and for myself and for for whoever, and that's kind of just how I try and live by it now, not caring so much and just having fun with it. Um, so that's kind of what I can tell people out there, because there are, there's definitely been times where I posted something and like sometimes it still does happen once in a while where like it doesn't do as well, and it can be like discouraging, and especially when you've just released a new song and you want it to pop off on TikTok so bad because you think that if it doesn't, you're not going anywhere in life. So it can be discouraging, but the best advice I can give is to just literally not care. Post it for fun and post it for yourself, and that's when like things kind of start, don't be so hard on yourself. But it's a great it's a great platform, and your biggest thing should be to be putting it out there so you can reach a bigger audience, so for you. So
So some of the content that you've put out that has done really well
is Billie Jean.
I know. That's another thing, is like having your niche on TikTok is such a big thing. Like, oh, have your niche, like figure out what you want to do and put it out there. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not going to pick one thing and stick to it because I'm not like that. I'm going to post funny stuff. I'm going to post music stuff. I'm going to post what weird food combinations. Like I can't help but just be myself, and that's who I am. And yeah, so I post whatever and anything on TikTok. Like whatever, even I'm trying to take it like as pretend it's your story on Instagram, and you're being silly and you're being funny. Just post whatever on there.
So you alluded to some of the content as well of trying different food combinations.
No.
Yeah.
And we stupidly agreed to try some of these food combinations with you.
Yes.
One of your favorites
Yes.
being a peanut butter and pickle sandwich.
Yes.
So we have the ingredients here for a peanut butter and pickle sandwich. I love peanut butter, love pickles, love bread. Don't know how I feel about all three of them together.
You are going to be obsessed after this. I promise you, Jenna. I'm
literally
so excited for you.
No.
So
Oh,
and you also put out some like a request to your followers on what else we should try.
I did.
What were the three options? There was green olives and yogurt, which
Yep.
I was the most worried about.
I think
Especially
that was
when I got a DM from one of your followers who said it's actually supposed to be vanilla yogurt, so I hope you get that
Oh.
one. And I was like,
Okay,
no,
perfect.
thank you.
Noted.
Peaches, lime, and chili powder, which I actually think is going to be pretty tasty.
So good. I'm like, that's like a given.
And then sugar and cucumbers, which also pretty tasty.
I know. I was like,
sugar,
I'm not
cucumbers, and
mad.
vinegar is really good.
Oh, see, Jenna, you should have said that. We would have added that in if it got opted, but
So we
you didn't.
have some wonderful, delicious bread.
I got the holy bread.
Woo!
I sliced up some pickles.
Okay. Oh, you guys. Okay. Well, I know this time you probably don't have a toaster around, but next time it has to be toasted.
We're not fancy like that.
But one night when you're feeling fancy, for me, you have to do it toasted.
Ugh.
I like my pickles and peanut butter pure. I've never had this before, and I'm quite nervous.
I'm scared. Do you have one too, or are you only trying?
Oh yeah, I have it prepared and everything.
Oh, we're doing an open face.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm also gonna take my vitamins with this. LOL.
What? Use this one if you want. Then for opening. Okay, no.
Nah. But we're using natural peanut butter.
That's okay. I have natural as well.
It's literally just peanuts. He's so confused as to why this is gonna. He thinks it's gonna taste bad.
No,
no, it's gonna be good.
See, the thing with let me go. Let me go on a tangent here. The thing with natural peanut butter, especially crunchy natural peanut butter, is it just tastes like someone chewed peanuts and spit it into the container.
It's smooth peanut butter for starters, so you're fine.
I mean, the other peanut butter is a little bit better because it's a little bit sweeter, but I find this stuff is still pretty good.
Okay.
You know what's yeah, let's just.
So we have this here. Let's just. Ooh, look how beautiful.
We need to take a screenshot of this because this is hilarious. Oh, wait.
We do.
How do I do this?
I don't know. We're not good at this.
Oh no.
Are you guys ready?
What?
Bon appetit.
Wait,
cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. This is the stickiest peanut butter I've ever had.
I need to see Jenna's face. Moving closer.
I'm going in for a second bite.
Me too.
Uh-huh. God.
This is the nightmare for anyone listening to a podcast of hearing someone chew.
Ew.
No.
This is our ASMR episode.
Okay.
You know, okay.
This is really fucking good.
Yes! I told you!
No!
I knew it!
I mean, I don't think this is going to be my go-to, but honestly, this would have been really good last night after a few drinks.
100%.
Oh, am I going for a third?
I'm eating the whole piece. This is so good.
You need to try one that's not pure, so that when you're tonight or another day where you're
not pure. And toasted, of course.
Yeah. But you only toast the bread. Because then the peanut butter is gooey and ooey and like, oh.
Why do I like this?
I know.
And it's a good breakfast. It's good for the gym. It's good when you're going like anything. It's literally for everything. Late nighttime snack.
Well,
hungover snack.
I'm very sorry for dragging you through the mud for this.
I had confidence. I knew that you guys were going to love it.
You did.
You really did.
Okay.
How could you not?
Do you know anybody who doesn't like it? Try it?
I'm sure if you hate pickles, that this would be a nightmare.
Yeah, like for people who actually genuinely like pickles and peanut butter and toast, like they usually always like it. I've never had anybody that didn't, but
I'm dipping it in the pickle juice. On the plate.
I was actually looking up last night on Google some of the weird food combinations people put up there. There's some good ones. I'm gonna have
good or gross?
There's a fine line.
Like weird ones. Actually, one that I've tried that I would like to try again because I did it wrong the first time was soy sauce and ice cream.
No.
You know what?
No.
Super salty and super sweet.
No.
It would be a little strange, but I don't think I would hate it. I mean,
surprisingly not bad.
It's possible. Bring on the olives and yogurt. I don't know. Who knows? Like maybe that's delicious.
I'm gonna keep trying these with you guys. You guys should also do them.
Like I'm tempted.
You should try them.
So the one that so when you put the story out on Instagram, which was the one that won? The disgusting olives and yogurt, peaches and lime and chili powder, or cucumbers and sugar?
Peaches and chili powder.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go get that for us.
Woo!
I'm actually kind of excited for this one.
I'm actually a little scared for this one because I'm like a medium heat kind of gal, so chili is gonna be hot.
Chili's not spicy.
It has a.
Oh. I have to undo this button.
The pieces we bought look terrible.
The inside of them is brown, but they're hard.
Yeah, my peaches weren't really
Peachin'?
Well,
that
it's not
good.
peach season,
Yeah, they weren't
so
peachin'.
makes sense. How much lime?
But at least I found a peach.
Logan wants to know how much lime juice you put in yours.
I just like squeezed, like I took like a little like sliver of a lime and just squeezed it on.
So, is this something that you've had before?
No, I've never had this before, but I know I'm gonna like it.
Look at how
like I just
weird
know.
these peaches look.
Wow, mine also look weird.
I mean, it's really not peach season, so if we hate
Exactly.
let's blame the season. Okay, so let's put.
I also had to undo my top button on my jeans
I'm already
because
sick. I'm already not.
it was too much for me.
Okay, so some lime juice.
Okay,
You already undid.
How much chili pepper do I put?
I would just like
Not that much. A little sprink.
I'm excited.
Why?
Okay, Jenna, you grab that one. That one right there.
No. No.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Ready?
Cheers.
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 Cheers, big ears.
It tastes exactly what I expected. I
Me
need
too.
to go in for another.
I mean,
Yeah.
this peach isn't very good.
They all
Uh-huh.
taste. Their flavors don't combine. They just are sitting here separately in my mouth.
I'm going for another one.
You know what this reminds me of? This needs to be a margarita.
Mm-hmm.
I've had
Like a peachy lime margarita. This is actually really good.
I'm not going to say it's really good,
neither am I.
but
It's okay.
it's pretty good.
I really like it.
Well,
I just think that the peaches kind of suck.
Yeah, these peaches are gross.
I don't think I like it actually.
I'm going in for another, but this one has a lot of chili powder on it.
Okay.
What would you rate it?
Out of what?
10.
3.
Like maybe like a
3?
6.
Ooh.
Like, am I ever gonna eat this again? No. But like, will I make other people eat it? Probably.
Yeah, like, I think that if I had peaches and I had the choice to put chili powder on them or cream and sugar,
Yep.
I would do cream and sugar. But this is also a nicer, like, maybe like, I don't know.
It's just the admin of this, of cutting
Yeah.
peach, getting a lime, and finding your. You know what? Yeah.
I think if we had some fresh Okanagan peaches,
Mm-hmm. Or
It might
from
be
Niagara.
different.
Yeah.
yeah, or in a margarita.
You know what? Maybe I do like it. I'm here sucking my fingers. Maybe I do like it.
Okay.
I also give it like a 6.5
Mm.
out of 10.
3.
It's really good, but I'm not like, oh my god. I think that maybe a 3.
For an average rating of 5. For an average rating of 5.
Okay, average rating of 5. That's pretty good.
But like the pickles
I mean, it's
and
not
peanut
horrible.
butter,
It was disgusting.
that's a full 10 out of
Yeah.
10. Full
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I can't believe you. I can't
Yeah.
believe you. You know, I read this book series.
Of course you did.
And her favorite like snack when she was too poor to buy groceries was a peanut butter sandwich with all green olives instead of pickles. And I think it might give a similar vibe.
Now I want to try that right now.
I have olives in the fridge.
Interesting. I don't have olives, but you guys can try it because I'm not an olive girl, so I don't buy them.
I love olives so much.
Green or black?
I'm curious.
Both.
Both. All of them. I love
Both.
stuff it with whatever. Garlic. What are those little
Wow, see the garlic ones that you can stuff, those ones are good, but green, black ones, I'm like,
Or like
they
olive.
look like big beetles.
Olive. I mean, you're not wrong. Olive stuffed with jalapeno peppers.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah, those would be good.
Oh yeah.
Or what are those orange things stuck in there sometimes?
Banana peppers?
No, pimento.
Oh, orange. I heard yellow.
Oh, okay.
Well, she said orange.
Yeah, the pimentos are when you were little, you would just like get
Yeah.
the pimento out of it and then eat the olive.
We would race to see who could suck the pimento out fastest.
Teach them young.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. Teach them all you can.
Well, Teigen, thank you so much for joining us. This was like
Thanks
so
for
fun.
We're gonna need to make this a series of trying this.
Yeah.
Shit
We seriously should. It would be fun. Like, we'll start brainstorming.
we can go live
weird
on.
food.
We can go live on Instagram and try these nasty things.
We should do it.
Ew.
Let's do it.
I think we should too.
And TikTok too,
Yeah.
because
Obviously.
it's, you know, both. Yeah. Got to utilize all those platforms.
I need to move this. It smells.
The peach.
Well, Teigen, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you joining us up here on the porch.
Thanks for having me. It was so much fun, and I can't wait to do it again soon. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and it's sunshiny, and you get good stuff done this weekend, fun stuff.
We're under a winter storm watch, so
Oh, well, Netflix and chill it is. Are you guys watching anything actually before you go?
I just finished Daisy Jones and the Six yesterday, and I am a puddle.
Oh my god, okay, I'll have to check it out.
On Amazon Prime.
Oh my god, yes, I've been seeing that all over. It was really good.
I read the book last year.
Okay.
I suggest reading the book first, personally.
Okay.
I read it in less than a day. Like, I just couldn't put it down.
Oh, wow.
I would not get off the couch. I didn't move. I was at my grandparents' house, and my grandma was like, "Are you getting off your ass and doing something today?" And I was like, "You're looking at it. This is," and I shut the book, and it was dinner time. Like, I just was lost in it. I loved it so much.
This book nerd.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, but maybe I'll force myself to read the book first before I watch the
It's so cool.
series.
And the show just like didn't ruin it at all. So.
Oh, good.
First,
well, that's gonna be hard for me not to watch it first. Just so you know. It'll be
Yeah. You know what? Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I'll try, but
also, Love Is Blind just came out, so gotta start that.
What
Love
did?
Is Blind season 4.
Oh, okay. I don't watch that.
You should.
Me neither.
Is
It's
it?
excellent trash
I don't
TV.
watch it. Logan, what are you watching?
I just finished The Last of Us season 1, and it was very good. I don't like zombie things. I was like, I don't really want to watch this, but I watched it out of peer pressure, and it was so good. Like, it's a post-apocalyptic show.
Okay. I don't know if I've heard.
And
of
like,
it.
there's zombies, but like the show's not about zombies. It's just about life after
The Apocalypse.
the apocalypse, and there just happens to be a zombie in the background once in a while. It was really, really, really good. And it's not usually my type of thing. I like trash comedies, but that was really good.
Okay.
I'll
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. So.
And Succession. Love that show.
Never heard of that one either. What's that one about?
It's like a family. It's like Yellowstone, but in the city.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna get dragged for saying that, I'm sure, but that's the best thing I have. It's like a family business. The dad is the head of it, and the kids are trying to fight to become the top. And I don't know, it's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. Okay, I just finished watching You. I don't know if you guys watched that.
I loved the first
last
season.
night. Me too. And I don't know what happened on the third season, or is it the fourth season, the last one. I just like couldn't really get into it, but it actually took like a good turn of events in the last 5 episodes. So if you guys do watch it, you're gonna, if you're like me, the first few episodes, you're gonna be like, this sucks, and then it gets decent, good.
All right, Teigen, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You guys have a good rest of your day.
You too. We'll see you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of On The Porch with Front Porch Music. We're so lucky to be able to chat with artists and make episodes like this one. If you like the podcast, remember to rate and review us, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. It's the easiest way to support the show. Remember to check out frontporchmusic.ca to keep up with new music releases, exclusive artist interviews, and more. We'll catch you again on the porch in a couple of weeks. On the Porch is hosted by Logan Miller and Jenna Weiser, and produced and edited by Jason Saunders. That's me. Our theme song was written, produced, and performed by Owen Wrigley.